Okay, so for today we're doing something called Ask Megan, and it's a part of my First Foods class, and I'm publishing this video on YouTube, but also it's embedded in the class parent portal. So let's go. Our first question is from Savannah. She asks, what do you suggest to support baby's tummy? She seems really uncomfortable at night, especially in the morning after feeding and through the night. She still spits up at almost 7 months old too. My doctor said potentially try reflux medication, but I don't want to do it because it affects the gut long term. I just want to see her comfortable. And what she has tried is sitting up after feeds, limiting dairy, gas drops, or simethicone. And then baby stool. I did get a picture of baby stool and I may or may not post it. I will describe it as very watery, like there's no body at all to it. And it's almost like a mustard color brown. And so currently baby is 7 months old and sporadically eating solids. And in theory, we do want to start solids at 6 months old because we want to get in those allergens. This is that immune training period. Mom says that baby has solids once a day. She has bone marrow, whipped bone marrow, which you can find a recipe for that on my website. She adds frozen blueberries, and I do have a video which I will probably post right here, and it talks about the benefits of blueberries, daily blueberry consumption for baby food allergy and immune tolerance, and this has to do with gut bacteria. And then most other foods she spits out. So this is a red flag, I will say, in general, because we want baby to have specific nutrients when beginning solids, and this helps with immune system function. And the immune system is pivotal. Why? Because it surrounds gut tissue. So gut health is often implicated or linked to immune health. And we're not just talking about the ability to fight infection, we're talking about the ability to be resilient to the environment and to not develop an allergy. Very important that we support baby's immune development. And the gastro, mom says that she continued and discontinued. And what I want to say here is that there have been a lot of studies around gas drops for baby and simethicone. And specifically what's been found is it doesn't really affect gut bacteria long term, but it may affect the metabolic function of the gut bacteria in baby's gut. And so that has not been measured as much. What one study found, and I will read this, most major infant gut bacteria didn't change. The exception was E. coli. Now, E. coli is what's called a pioneer bacteria in the baby's gut. A lot of people see it as a bad bacteria. It is a bad bacteria. But right at the beginning, it actually helps to shape and kind of like prime baby's immune system. So we actually do want to see higher levels of E. coli in baby's gut. That's normal, healthy, natural. And then we want those bifidobacteria to come in and really populate. So right at the beginning, not so much an issue. And I do have ongoing here and there, there's immune training cohorts that I run. And so I talk about how the baby gut develops, and it's through stages. And so we do want to be aware of this and work with baby's gut and kind of like the stages of development that happen also with gut bacteria. Now, I will say from a Chinese medicine perspective, baby stool being that watery is an indication of what's called cold. Because baby is not taking any probiotic support, that's one really low-hanging fruit that we can just kind of add in. I would have preferred to add it in really early on. Again, because those good bacteria help to prime and train baby's immune system. The immune system, the gut is right there, and the immune system is like surrounding it. And so we really want to get those good gut bacteria present, so that way there's a good interface with the immune system and we're building tolerance even before we start solids. Her sleep is not great and she jolts herself awake. Now at 7 months, delayed solids, I'm really thinking about iron. And so another direction or another piece to the puzzle that I would add, and this is also supports immune system resilience, it's iron. And we don't want to do iron drops because that will affect the gut microbiome. We actually just want to do meat, liver, and spleen. And desiccated spleen is probably the most concentrated source of heme iron that's most absorbable that you're going to get. So I would do a desiccated spleen supplement. Ancestral Supplements makes one, and there are other brands as well, but with Ancestral Supplements you get just desiccated spleen, And I would pair this too with red meat, dark poultry meat, and also a vitamin C, whole food vitamin C supplement. We want our blueberries in there, of course. So this will kind of help to complete the picture. Now, if baby's not really eating, that links up to Chinese medicine and how we can support baby's gut through Chinese medicine. Again, her stool is watery. There's coldness in the body from a TCM perspective and a deficiency perspective. It will make baby less desirable of food. And so I would probably come in with a TCM formula to move food stagnation, to promote appetite, to warm up the gut. Some simple things that you can do at home is simply add ginger, like dried ginger spice, to food. You can also add a little bit of cardamom if there's like what's called damp or excess phlegm. And you can also do a teensy tiny bit of nutmeg. Nutmeg is a very powerful spice, so we don't want to do too much. You can go heavier on the ginger. Nutmeg, though, a little bit, it actually is astringent and it'll help with the diarrhea, and it's also very warming. So all those baking spices that you put in like pumpkin pie or pumpkin spice latte, those baking spices are going to help to warm baby's gut and ultimately help with digestion. I would go in with Chinese medicine and herbs in a perfect world, because that will be very targeted. But if you don't want to go that direction, you just want to stick with your kitchen, baking spices, baked root vegetables, if possible, if baby's open to it. Bone marrow is great. Meat stock, a little nutrient poor. It's collagen, but it's also mostly water. So we really want to get in those meaty minerals, and we want to do that with liver, with spleen, and with red meat. If you have any questions, or if you want to join the class, you can go to megangarcia.com or just pop your questions below.